Swadika, hello and welcome. You're watching ASEAN Challenge, the show to give you the latest headlines, hot topics and updates happening around your ASEAN bloc in two languages, Thai and English. I'm Rosalind Thepawan.
And I'm Alisa สิทธิวงศ์ขอต้อนรับคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะข่าวสารรอบอาเซียนของเราเป็นภาษาอังกฤษและภาษาไทยค่ะ
And starting off the show in ASEAN around us, let's go take a look at what's happening around Cambodia and see what's hot around Cambodia, especially leading up to the huge elections next year. There's a lot of activity happening in Cambodia, but at the expense of the opposition side. So this time, lots of things are happening as different campaigns, especially one run by the leader Hun Sen, takes it up a notch.
That's right. So there have been some elections that lead up to the general elections, which will be occurring next year, July 2018 to be exact. Now, there are two parties which we can say are the top of the running for the elections next year. And that, of course, is Hun Sen's party and the opposition party called the Cambodian National Rescue Party, or CNRP. Now, there have been issues concerning, let's say, the leader of the party, in which has been accused by Hun Sen for what we can say in Thai, kabot, or going against the country and going against the leadership of Hun Sen and being supported by the United States.
Right, indeed. In the latest movement in the widening crackdown against the opposition, where in the past few months we saw how Hun Sen's party really spread out and touched on many different areas of the opposition, whether it's the political party that you mentioned, media, like the recent Cambodian newspaper, the English circulation that just closed down due to the call for back taxes, but there's much, much more as well, including rights groups and other factions. So that aside, Hun Sen has taken another step in addition to arresting the leader of the opposition party, Kem Sok. We have some more updates now as with a third party coming in to assist the opposition.
That's right. So talking about Kem Sok himself, he was arrested on September 3rd and is the only serious election rival, as mentioned, to Hun Sen. He's a 65-year-old former Khmer Rouge commander, and Western countries have criticized the arrest, which marks an escalation in a crackdown on critics ahead of a poll next year that could pose the toughest electoral challenge Hun Sen has faced in more than 30 years' rule. Now, not only that, but Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen has also threatened as well that he will dissolve the main opposition party altogether if it continues to back Kem Sok altogether and support him, since Kem Sok has been charged of treason over the alleged plot of gaining power with the U.S. support.
That's quite interesting. The more that Hun Sen attempts to crack down harshly and severely on different factions, the more tough, you could say, the challenge is for Hun Sen to retain his power after 3 decades of rule. But at the same time, the opposition is not going to sit down idle. From the opposition side, the CNRP, Cambodia National Rescue Party, they actually want to continue to appeal this case and fight it as much as they can and support their leader Kem Sok in jail right now. They said what they will do is actually boycott the election altogether, and unless Kem Sok himself is free. But apart from Kem Sok himself, there are other tiers of people to take over the opposition leading status if Kem Sok is not able to be freed.
That's right. So what they do believe, though, another top opposition figure has also mentioned that foreign donors must open their eyes to Cambodia's false democracy and put more pressure on Prime Minister Hun Sen after the arrest for treason of his main rival Kem Sok. Now, in terms of Hun Sen, who has pulled in billions of dollars in Chinese loans and became one of Beijing's closest regional allies, he has vowed to resist foreign interference following international criticism on the arrest of Kem Sok for treason and a widening crackdown on his critics.
Indeed. Well, despite that movement by Hun Sen, there's still a lot of movement as well coming from the opposition, especially with one of 3 deputies to leader Kem Sok in the Cambodian National Rescue Party here. Mu Chot-chua, age 63, is actually a really active politician in terms of human rights and sex trafficking and human trafficking altogether. She's known for her international campaigns, actually, for sex trafficking and women's rights. Now, she came out to say that democracy, or the so-called false democracy, as we mentioned, still all the same, was quite in danger, and more people must come and hear and realize the threat here that's happening. Donor countries especially, she said, must hear between the threat and obligations and perhaps come in and lend a helping hand.
That's right. So we can see here that as the general elections are coming closer and closer, we can see that there's more pressure on the current government and on Hun Sen himself, and he's taking up measures and threatening various sources like the media, like you mentioned, and the opposition party. So we can see that there's a lot of pressure and a lot of rivalry going on in terms of politics in Cambodia at the moment.
Indeed, and it would be interesting to hear from all sides, not just the opposition, the opposing forces, but also the so-called third party that has stepped in to lend a helping hand to see what kind of influences indeed, if that had happened, that they had made in official statements. So we'll keep you posted on those developments.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันในส่วนแรกค่ะ ASEAN Around Us ไปกันที่ประเทศกัมพูชาค่ะอย่างที่เราทราบกันว่าในปีหน้าก็จะมีการเลือกตั้งแล้วซึ่งในขณะนี้นะคะก็จะมี2พรรคใหญ่ๆที่ถือว่าเป็นพรรคที่กำลังแข่งขันกันอย่างดุเดือดนะคะก็เป็นพรรคของฮุนเซนนายกรัฐมนตรีปัจจุบันของกัมพูชานะคะพร้อมกับฝ่ายค้านค่ะพรรคกู้ชาติกัมพูชาหรือว่า CNRP นั่นเองค่ะซึ่งในตอนนี้นะคะทางฮุนเซนเองก็ได้ออกมาขู่ว่าคือถ้าทางพรรคเนี่ยสนับสนุนพรรคแกนนำของพรรคเนี่ยซึ่งตอนนี้นะคะก็ถือว่าได้จับกลุ่มในข้อหากบฏร่วมกับสหรัฐเนี่ยก็ถือว่าจะยุบพรรคทีเดียวก็คือเป็นการเตือนเป็นการขู่พรรค
ใช่ค่ะแต่ในเวลาเดียวกันทางฝ่ายค้านนะคะก็ออกมาบอกว่าจะสู้ต่อไปซึ่งก็เรียกร้องความช่วยเหลือจากต่างประเทศด้วยในเวลาเดียวกันนะคะแต่ว่าอันนั้นเราก็ต้องรอฟังดูว่าทางต่างประเทศหรือว่ามือที่3ที่ออกมาช่วยเหลือเนี่ยนะคะมีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องยังไงบ้างแต่ในเวลาเดียวกันก็ออกมาบอกว่าสุดท้ายถ้าไม่ปล่อยผู้นำเข็มศกจากคุกนะคะก็จะไม่เลือกตั้งเลยจะบอยคอตการเลือกตั้งปีหน้าซึ่งถ้าบอยคอตไปแล้วก็จะมีส่วนกระทบหรือว่าการกระทบขนาดไหนเราก็ต้องดูกันนะคะ
ค่ะก็ยิ่งการเลือกตั้งยิ่งใกล้เข้ามาเท่าไหร่เราก็ยังจะเห็นความดุเดือดมากขึ้นเท่านั้นในส่วนของฮุนเซนเองก็เป็นผู้นำมา3ทศวรรษแล้วเนาะก็มีความตึงเครียดในการเลือกตั้งในครั้งนี้เป็นพิเศษเลยค่ะ
ค่ะทางสื่อนักวิเคราะห์ก็ออกมาพูดว่าการเลือกตั้งครั้งนี้นะคะก็เป็นการเลือกตั้งครั้งใหญ่แล้วก็ท้าทายที่สุดสำหรับผู้นำฮุนเซนนะคะในมากกว่า30ปีที่นำประเทศกัมพูชานะคะเพราะฉะนั้นเราได้เห็นการเคลื่อนไหวของฮุนเซนซึ่งจะเข้มงวดรุนแรงเป็นพิเศษไม่ว่าจะเคลื่อนไหวในวงการสื่อหรือว่าวงการเมืองนะคะฝ่ายค้านหรือว่ากลุ่ม rights groups อื่นๆก็มีผลกระทบทุกคนเลยนะคะทุกกลุ่ม
เอาเป็นว่าเดี๋ยวเราจะต้องติดตามกันดูนะคะว่าอีกในไม่กี่เดือนประมาณไม่ถึงปีข้างหน้านะคะการเลือกตั้งจะมาถึงแล้วเราก็ต้องดูกันว่าจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นอีกต่อไป
ใช่ค่ะและในเวลาเดียวกันเราก็ต้องจับตาดูด้วยนะคะว่ากลุ่มอื่นๆที่เกี่ยวข้องอย่างเช่นประเทศจีนกับประเทศอเมริกาจะมีการเคลื่อนไหวยังไงด้วยเช่นกันนะคะเพราะว่าในขณะนี้ประเทศจีนก็มีส่วนนับว่าเป็นเพื่อนสนิทนะคะของประเทศกัมพูชามากแล้วก็ทางสหรัฐอเมริกาก็เป็นเพื่อนสนิทเช่นเดียวกันซึ่งก็จะมีผลกระทบอย่างแน่นอนเช่นกันนะคะในการเลือกตั้งครั้งนี้ก็ต้องรอจับตาดูนะคะ
That's right so we'll keep you posted on that meanwhile we're going to take a short break up next we have some very hot news topics for you stay tuned
Welcome back to the program. In ASEAN Challenge, we head over to ASEAN Hot Issues now to see what's making headlines the past week. And the first story to once again develop and continue to make headlines is, of course, the development in the case of the so-called ethnic cleansing in Myanmar. And with the latest UN authorities, a top UN human rights official has recently come out to voice concerns about how what's happening in Myanmar is like a textbook case, a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. And what's going on is, of course, according to textbooks, they say ethnic cleansing is a massive expulsion of killing of members of unwanted ethnic religions or groups in a society. And what we're seeing, according to the UN official, is a textbook example of that.
That's right. It's what they actually call Myanmar's brutal security operations against Muslim Rohingyas in Rakhine State, which he said was disproportionate to insurgent attacks carried out last month. Now, if we take a look at the numbers at the moment, they say that the number of deaths has surpassed or gone past 1,000 already, which of course it's what we can say going further and further, more and more, and also leading to 270,000 people or even more fleeing to Bangladesh.
And with many more trapped along the border with nowhere to go, pretty much in limbo right now amid reports of burning villages and extrajudicial killings still happening. The situation kicked off, or you could say started off in October, and there were a lot of series of escalated happenings, but then it began to simmer, and recent movements also by, you could say, small patterns and patches of insurgent activity as well continued. But we're also seeing spurts of conflict with Myanmar Rohingya fighters as well, trying to defend their base.
Now, at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein had addressed that there's more than 270,000 people fleeing to Bangladesh at the moment, with more trapped on the border amidst reports of burning the villages and judicial killings, and he quotes, "I call on the government to end its current cruel military operation with accountability for all violations that have occurred, and to reverse the pattern of severe and widespread discrimination against the Rohingya population. The situation seems a textbook example of ethnic cleansing."
And those are the exact words coming from the top UN human rights official right now, as you see him reporting that at the recent meeting. And now in terms of escalation and, you could say, widespread discrimination, and that is quite a, you could say, there's a lot of movements happening in country, whether it's via social media or rumors spreading as well about various ethnic groups like the Rohingya, for example. And we could see that with Myanmar being a predominantly Buddhist country, there's a lot of discrimination against the Rohingya group in Rakhine State as well. So right now, despite the attempts from many parties around the world, the situation continues to escalate with no end in sight and no, you could say, no resolution coming from the government as well.
That's
at the
right.
moment.
Now, taking a look at the government side from Myanmar, however, the de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi, now latest reports last week, has said that she cancelled her trips to UN for two reasons mainly, of course, but basically there were reasons in terms of the situation going on in Rakhine State and in terms of the Rohingya migrants. So basically, it's in terms of terrorist attacks, possibilities of that, having to stay in order to catch up on the situation.
Right, indeed. So a top meeting with the UN thwarted by the recent activity happening in Myanmar as well, and plans to resolve those issues of terrorist activity that she said.
So, of course, international media and the UN and, of course, other countries have seemed to be taking a look on Aung San Suu Kyi and her position as the leader at the moment. But however, the Nobel Committee has not said anything about taking back her Nobel Peace Prize. So that's not part of the issue going on. But in terms of the situation, in terms of Rohingya migrants, Rakhine State, of course, they are coming out to see what Aung San Suu Kyi will be doing next.
So right, indeed, all eyes are still on Aung San Suu Kyi and her reaction and responses to this huge so-called ethnic cleansing happening in the country, how she may help this group and how she may keep the public sentiment quelled, you could say, with a lot of prejudice and discrimination still existing in the country. We have to see what move she'll make next.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันในส่วนข่าวแรกของอาเซียนฮอตอิชชูค่ะไปดูกันในส่วนของประเด็นของชาวโรฮิงญานะคะในรัฐยะไข่ของประเทศเมียนมานั่นเองค่ะซึ่งในขณะนี้นะคะก็ความรุนแรงนะคะก็ถือว่าทวีคูณเข้าไป2เท่าเลยทีเดียวนะคะปัจจุบันนะคะตัวเลขของผู้ ผู้ที่เสียชีวิตนะคะก็เกิน 1,000 คนแล้วจำนวนคนที่ได้ลี้ภัยออกจากประเทศก็ถึง 270,000 คนทีเดียวค่ะที่ลี้ภัยไปทางบังกลาเทศก็ถือว่าเป็นสถานการณ์ที่รุนแรงมากเลย
ใช่ค่ะ 270,000 คนนะคะแต่ว่าไม่นับคนที่ยังไม่เข้าถึงประเทศบังกลาเทศซึ่งอยู่ระหว่างประเทศแล้วก็การลี้ภัยอยู่นะคะก็มีอีกหลายพันหลายหมื่นคนทีเดียวค่ะซึ่งในขณะนี้ทางเจ้าหน้าที่ไม่ว่าจะเป็นเจ้าหน้าที่บังกลาเทศหรือว่าเจ้าหน้าที่ทั่วโลกจากประเทศมาเลเซียหรือว่าอินโดนีเซียก็ได้มีส่วนเข้ามาช่วยเหลือกลุ่มนี้นะคะแต่ในเวลาเดียวกันก็มีการกล่าวหาว่าผู้นำประเทศพม่านะคะก็ยังไม่สามารถแก้ปัญหาได้ลงตัวซึ่งปัญหาก็ยังต่อเนื่องค่ะไม่จบค่ะ
ใช่แล้วค่ะหลายคนก็ยังจับตามองอยู่ในส่วนของคือจริงๆแล้วอ่ะทางองซานซูจีเนี่ยค่ะก็ได้รับโนเบลนะคะรางวัลโนเบลมาเขาก็เหมือนก็ควรจะเอาคืนมาหรือเปล่าเนื่องจากสถานการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นแต่ขณะนี้นะคะทางคณะกรรมการของโนเบลเนี่ยก็ชี้ว่าคือในขณะนี้ก็ไม่ได้มีนโยบายที่จะริบคืนรางวัลจากนางองซานซูจีนะคะก็ไม่เกี่ยวข้องกันแต่ว่าในส่วนของการดูแลผู้คนโรฮิงญาเนี่ยเขาจะทำยังไงอันนี้ก็คือต้องจับตาดูนะคะ
ใช่ค่ะเพราะในขณะนี้ทั้งโลกนะคะหลายกลุ่มก็ออกมาประณามว่าทำไมยังไม่ช่วยเหลือได้เต็มที่นะคะในขณะที่ก่อนการเลือกตั้งได้พูดว่าจะช่วยเหลือกลุ่มนี้นะคะเราก็ต้องคอยจับตาดูกันว่าในอนาคตจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นเร็วๆนี้ก็นางอังซังซูจีก็เพิ่งปฏิเสธที่จะไปร่วมงาน UN เพราะว่าในประเทศก็มีเหตุการณ์ก่อการร้ายหลายอย่างซึ่งหัวหน้าประเทศแบบ de facto ก็จะต้องช่วยอยู่ดูแล
ก็ต้องอยู่ดูสถานการณ์ที่ประเทศเมียนมา
ค่ะ
Alright Moving on to some news updates from Myanmar, from Malaysia. Still in terms about the Rohingya refugees, of course. We know that Malaysia is trying to help the Rohingya refugees, and what they have done is they've sent an aircraft carrying various supplies and aid to the Rohingya refugees on Saturday, September 9th into Bangladesh, and it was carried through military aircraft which departed from Subang Air Base on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur after being flagged off by Prime Minister Najib Razak.
Indeed, in the lead up to another election happening in Malaysia, you could see a lot of activity and a lot of generous charity coming from the leadership of Malaysia currently. With the country itself having a huge Muslim population, it's also very much involved in the assisting of their Muslim brothers and sisters coming from Myanmar. But altogether, we could see a lot of movement and a lot of entanglement of Myanmar as well, calling for a lot of attention to this group in particular. Najib Razak himself flagging off the plane carrying assistance.
That's right. So what we can see at the moment now in the footage, that's the aid and supplies that will be carried off to Rohingya refugees. Now, the violence, of course, is very drastic. What's going on, it's escalated and the conflict has simmered since October, actually. But recently, as mentioned in the previous news, that about 270,000 people have fled to Bangladesh and around the borders as well, being denied entry, being sent back, and facing conditions of illness and rough conditions around that area as well. So as we can see here, we have lots of aids and supplies being sent from Malaysia. A lot of countries are trying to help and support the Rohingya refugees and as well as trying to, let's say, make the situation better.
Right, indeed, a lot of much needed assistance as well. So we'll have to keep watching to see how much more they can assist as the situation once again remains in limbo with the nearly 300,000 Rohingya still in limbo and also in Bangladesh. The situation is still quite dire for this group of ethnic peoples from Myanmar. That said, Malaysia and many other countries are joining in the assistance, not only the UN, Malaysia, Indonesia, and many other countries as well, including Japan and much, much more. So we'll have to keep posted on the situation to see what happens next.
ใช่แล้วค่ะยังต่อเนื่องกับข่าวที่เกี่ยวข้องกับชาวโรฮิงญานะคะแต่ว่าหันมาดูที่ประเทศมาเลเซียกันบ้างนะคะซึ่งทางประเทศมาเลเซียเนี่ยก็ได้ส่งความช่วยเหลือให้แก่ผู้ลี้ภัยจากรัฐยะไข่นะคะชาวโรฮิงญานั่นเองทางการมาเลเซียค่ะก็ได้ส่งมอบความช่วยเหลือนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นอุปกรณ์ของจำเป็นนะคะก็ได้ส่งไปทางเครื่องบินก็ส่งไปให้ผู้ลี้ภัยโรฮิงญาในบังกลาเทศนั่นเองค่ะสิ่งที่เราเห็นในจอในขณะนี้นะคะก็เป็นสิ่งของที่ได้ส่งไปนั่นเอง
ใช่ค่ะโดยทางนายกของประเทศมาเลเซียนะคะนาจิป ราซักก็ได้ส่งทุกอย่างกับมือนะคะแต่ว่าทางหัวหน้าประเทศเองก็ยังไม่ได้ไปต้องดูแลประเทศต่อขณะนี้ก็มีการแคมเปญนะคะในประเทศมาเลเซียก่อนที่จะมีการเลือกตั้งเร็วๆนี้เช่นกันเราก็จะคอยจับตาดูว่าทางมาเลเซียจะช่วยอะไรกลุ่มโรฮิงญาได้ต่อไปค่ะ
ใช่แล้วค่ะขณะนี้เราจะเห็นได้ว่าหลายๆประเทศก็พยายามที่จะช่วยชาวโรฮิงญานะคะเพราะว่าในขณะนี้ก็อย่างที่เราทราบกันจากข่าวที่แล้วว่าคนจำนวนประมาณ 270,000 คนเนี่ยพยายามที่จะลี้ภัยเข้าบังกลาเทศบางคนก็เข้าไม่ได้เข้าก็ไปเจอสภาพแบบป่วยบ้างนะคะสภาพที่แบบไม่ได้อยู่อย่างสุขสบายเนาะก็เป็นสิ่งที่หลายๆประเทศก็อยากจะร่วมมือกันช่วยเหลือ
ค่ะอีกอย่างหนึ่งก็เป็นจุดที่น่ากลัวเช่นกันนะคะก็ในขณะที่การก่อการร้ายหรือว่าการขัดแย้งกันเกิดขึ้นในประเทศพม่านะคะทางรัฐยักษ์ไข่แล้วก็หลายๆมุมของประเทศพม่าหลายคนก็เป็นห่วงอยู่นะคะว่าจะมีการเกิดการก่อการร้ายหรือว่า terrorist activity นะคะในประเทศในส่วนอื่นหรือเปล่าที่จะดึงดูดความสนใจอันนี้ก็คือต้องคอยจับตาต่อไปเช่นกันค่ะWell, with that said, though, we'll keep you posted on more developments coming from abroad, especially with the situation in Myanmar still continuing to escalate and simmer. We'll keep you updated on the situation. But in terms of simmering situations and developments, we have more updates coming from the Philippines as well, as the situation there also continues to escalate with new people and new identities being drawn into the story. Now, the Philippine president's son, Rodrigo Duterte's son, now Paulo Duterte, has been accused now of some kind of entanglement, $150 million drug shipment by a Senate probe, and members of Duterte's family have come out to insist they are not involved.
That's right. That's kind of an ironic situation going on in terms of the Philippines and in terms of Duterte and his war on drugs. Now, of course, in terms of what Paulo Duterte has said, his son has said that, the son of President Rodrigo Duterte has said that he had no links to a seized shipment of $125 million worth of narcotics from China, dismissing the baseless allegations of his involvements in the drug trade.
Right, at the same time, though, he had issued earlier a statement that perhaps many opponents have jumped on this opportunity. He said he would resign from politics if critics could prove indeed that any members of his family were indeed involved in corruption and the drug trade. So now we have a lot of different accusations coming out to accuse members of Duterte's family of involvement in the drug trade. Not only Paulo Duterte, but also the president's son-in-law, Manassas Carpio, also accused of links to the May drug shipment from China, to which, of course, he denied.
That's right. So according to a critic of the president, Senator Antonio Trulanes, he displayed to the Senate panel news clippings and photographs of Paulo Duterte beside a businessman who was behind the shipment in which the alleged drugs were found. The president's son-in-law, Manassas Carpio, as you mentioned, who has also been accused of links to the May drug shipment from China, told the hearing he had no involvement. The Philippine leader, who has unleashed a bloody anti-narcotics campaign that has killed thousands of police shootouts and vigilant killings, has repeatedly said he would resign if critics could prove any members of his family were involved in corruption and the drug trade.
Indeed, and with this case, or the couple of cases here, as you see, being taken to the Senate for this probe and cross-examination, you can see how the situation is escalating, with the opponents really taking every opportunity to really get back at Duterte, while at the same time Duterte still continues to maintain his bloody crackdown on narcotics. And that said, we'll have to keep you posted and keep monitoring how the Senate will continue to respond if the Senate is convinced of this lack of involvement from the Duterte clan.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันต่อไปนะคะข่าวจากฟิลิปปินส์กันบ้างค่ะซึ่งทางบุตรชายของประธานาธิบดีโรดริโกดูเตเต้นะคะซึ่งมีนามว่าเปาโลดูเตเต้วัย42ปีค่ะก็ได้ยืนยันว่าไม่มีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องกับยาเสพติดมูลค่ากว่า 4,000 ล้านบาทหรือว่า125 ล้านดอลลาร์สหรัฐนะคะที่เจ้าหน้าที่ได้ยึดเป็นเกี่ยวกับยาเสพติดนะคะที่ท่าเรือแห่งหนึ่งในกรุงมะนิลานั่นเองค่ะ
ค่ะไม่ใช่แค่ลูกชายเปาโลดูเตเต้นะคะแต่ว่าลูกชาย son in law Manassas Carpio นะคะก็ได้มีการ กล่าวหาว่ามีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องในการแลกเปลี่ยนหรือว่าการค้ายาเสพติดซึ่งทางนี้ก็ออกมาปฏิเสธเช่นกันนะคะซึ่งในขณะนี้เราก็เห็นการเคลื่อนไหวจากกลุ่มที่ต่อต้านดูเตเต้นะคะออกมาหามุมที่จะกล่าวหาดูเตเต้เพื่อที่จะเหมือนกับไล่ออกจากการเมืองนะคะเพราะท่านดูเตเต้เองก็ออกมาพูดว่าเนี่ยถ้ามีใครมาพิสูจน์ได้ว่าทางครอบครัวมีส่วนเกี่ยวข้องในการค้ายาเสพติดก็จะลาออกจากการเมืองเลยค่ะ
เพราะฉะนั้นเดี๋ยวเราต้องติดตามดูนะคะว่าเรื่องนี้มีความจริงไม่จริงอย่างไรกันค่ะ But anyways, moving on to some news updates in terms of the Philippines, but in terms of some tragic events in natural disasters. Now, battered by cyclone, the Philippines has been suffering from flooding and landslides. A cyclone dumped heavy rains in the Philippines capital of Manila and also nearby provinces as well on September 12th, causing widespread flooding and landslides as well. And they have said that at least 2 people were killed in the situation.
Indeed, all around the world we're seeing huge natural catastrophes happening in the United States and also in the Philippines during monsoon season with huge movements of the water bodies smashing against places all around the Philippines here. Cyclone Mering packing up to 60 kilometers per hour or 37 miles per hour of wind here made landfall in the Malban municipality in the eastern province of Quezon, leading to a widespread, you could say, domino effect of evacuations of people in some towns like Quezon, Laguna, Rizal, and Batangas provinces, according to officials declared nearly disaster zones.
That's
right. The water there.
So, according to the National Disaster Agency, they have also warned that more flash floods and landslides were expected as the rains are going to continue. And before the cyclone moves back over the sea, of course, they have warned citizens to be aware of the situation. Now, in terms of Thailand itself, it has been affected by the monsoon season as well. We've seen a lot of rain, a lot of floods as well. And we can see the United States has, of course, very popular in terms of the Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma going on. The situation in terms of natural disasters and rain during this time is very tragic.
Right, indeed. Many would say it's the year of La Nina, where a lot of water is just pouring and swallowing up many countries right now, whether it's Thailand's northeast, not to mention an additional Hurricane Jose in the United States as well, smashing into Mexico. And that said, perhaps we'll be seeing some more water chaos in the future as well. So at the same time, with the expertise, perhaps you could say, in experience of Southeast Asia and ASEAN, being able to handle and mitigate these water situations perhaps prevented a lot more damage that could have happened. But the Philippines, especially, being the most targeted in the Ring of Fire, is definitely one of the most experienced out of all. And this latest one, Cyclone Mering, continues to hammer over places with at least 2 people dead.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันในส่วนข่าวสุดท้ายนะคะสิ่งที่เราเห็นกันในขณะนี้ในจอค่ะอันนี้คือภาพจากการที่มีน้ำท่วมแล้วก็ดินถล่มนะคะในประเทศฟิลิปปินส์นั่นเองค่ะซึ่งทางกรุงมะนิลากับจังหวัดใกล้เคียงนะคะก็ได้ประสบพายุไซโคลนพัดถล่มนั่นเองค่ะก็มีผู้เสียชีวิตไม่ก็ประมาณ2 คนละจากเหตุการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นนะคะไซโคลนอันนี้ก็คือชื่อว่าพายุไซโคลนแมริงนั่นเองเราจะเห็นในปัจจุบันเนี่ยหรือว่าในช่วงระยะเวลาเนี้ยค่ะว่ามีพายุเกิดขึ้นบ่อยมากทั่วโลกเลยทีเดียวไม่ว่าจะเป็นทางสหรัฐเม็กซิโกนะคะหรือว่าจะเป็นทางตรงนี้นะคะทางฟิลิปปินส์นั่นเองก็เป็นเหตุการณ์ที่ต้องเฝ้าระวังเลยทีเดียว
ใช่ค่ะพร้อมกับประเทศไทยด้วยนะคะก็มีน้ำเยอะมากทำให้น้ำท่วมทางภาคอีสานนะคะก็จะมีหลายประเทศในขณะนี้ที่ได้ประสบภัยเรื่องน้ำท่วมนะคะซึ่งในขณะนี้ประเทศฟิลิปปินส์นะคะเป็นช่วงที่ได้รับผลกระทบมากที่สุดจากไซโคลนหรือว่ามอนซูนนะคะทั่วประเทศเราก็จะคอยอัปเดตนะคะว่ามันมีผลกระทบยังไงบ้างในขณะนี้ก็มีหลายเมืองหมู่บ้านที่จะต้องลี้ภัยกันนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นเคซอนลากูน่าริซอลหรือว่าปะทังกัสนะคะก็จะเป็นจังหวัดที่จะต้องรีบลี้ภัย
ใช่แล้วค่ะทางเจ้าหน้าที่ก็ได้ตักเตือนประชาชนนะคะว่าในช่วงนี้ก็ต้องติดตามเฝ้าระวังในส่วนของพายุหรือว่าฝนที่กำลังจะเกิดขึ้นที่อาจจะเกิดขึ้นเพิ่มเติมด้วยเช่นเดียวกันนะคะไม่ว่าจะเกิดขึ้นทางมะนิลาจังหวัดใกล้เคียงหรือว่าทั่วประเทศเลยทีเดียวในส่วนของไทยเองก็ต้องในช่วงนี้ก็ต้องเฝ้าระวังในส่วนของฝนตกพายุที่อาจจะมีผลกระทบจากพายุที่อื่นเช่นเดียวกัน
ใช่ค่ะไม่ว่าจะเป็นประชาชนนะคะหรือว่าทางรัฐบาลเตรียมพร้อมที่จะคอยรับปัญหา mitigation นะคะแต่ว่าในขณะนี้เราก็จะคอยอัปเดตนะคะว่าจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นต่อไปแล้วก็ต้องควรระวังอะไรบ้างเราก็จะ keep you posted
Alright with that said we're going to take another short break coming up next we have some lighter news updates in terms of some events going on in your ASEAN bloc stay tuned
Welcome back to the show. We into ASEAN calendar. Lots of colorful events to mark your dates with once again.
ใช่แล้วค่ะกลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ในช่วงนี้ไปดูกันว่ามีอีเวนต์อะไรกำลังจะเกิดขึ้นบ้างค่ะ September 9th, King's Birthday in Malaysia. Agong's birthday is a holiday that is oriented around the celebration of the Malaysian King's birthday. In Malaysia, the king is referred to as Yang di Pertuan Agong. Agong's birthday is celebrated in various ways throughout Malaysia. The largest and most popular celebration for the holiday occurs at Istana Negara in Kuala Lumpur. At this impressive venue, a ceremony is held to honor the Agong and various honorable Malaysian citizens. This event is often regarded as Malaysia's grandest event of the year. This ceremony is very formal, so everyone in attendance wears their best outfits. During the ceremony, various medals and ribbons are awarded to people who have performed impressive deeds throughout the year. Malaysian citizens are commonly awarded for heroism and acts of extreme kindness. The ceremony is also attended by members of the royal family, government, and the diplomatic corps. During the morning of Agong's birthday, the Malaysian king gives a speech to the people of Malaysia from the throne room of his palace. During the speech, the Agong usually addresses a variety of issues, including politics, global crises, and challenges that Malaysia faces. While the topics of his address are quite serious, the Agong usually presents them in a manner that is hopeful and optimistic. The Agong's address is televised in every major city and town throughout Malaysia. It is also broadcast on radio stations throughout the nation. Most Malaysian citizens make sure that they are near a television or radio when the Agong is giving his speech. One of the most important events that occurred during Agong's birthday is the Trooping the Colour parade in Kuala Lumpur. Trooping the Colour is a massive military parade that takes place in Merdeka Square. The event is open to the public, but only honoured citizens and members of the military can go near the parade field. During this event, every level of the Malaysian military honours the Agong. Bands, vehicles, aircrafts, infantry, and officers all take part in this extravagant celebration. During the parade, the Agong is accompanied by the highest-ranking commanders of Malaysia's military forces. After the Trooping the Colour event, the Agong and honoured guests enjoy high tea and a luncheon. This often occurs during the afternoon of Agong's birthday. This is a very large event that is often attended by over 3,000 people. Despite the large number of people who attend, this luncheon is a very exclusive event. Agong's birthday is a Malaysian public holiday that allows Malaysian citizens to honor the Yang di Pertuan Agong. September 16th, International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer. The United Nations International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer is celebrated on the 16th of September every year. Commemorating the 1987 signing of the Montreal protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. The day advocates activities and create awareness on topics related to climate change and ozone depletion. The ozone layer, a fragile shield of gas, protects the Earth from the harmful portion of the sun's rays, thus helping to preserve life on the planet. As such, it is paramount that we protect the ozone layer from harmful substances such as HCFCs or hydrochlorofluorocarbons. HCFCs are both ozone-depleting substances and powerful greenhouse gases that contribute to the thinning of the ozone layer. Nearly 2,000 times more potent than carbon dioxide in adding to global warming, the successful reduction of HCFC emissions remains one of the UN's greatest challenges. However, the gradual phasing out of controlled uses of ozone-depleting substances has not only helped protect the ozone layer for this future generations, but has also contributed significantly to global efforts to address climate change. As a result, it has protected human health and ecosystems by limiting the harmful ultraviolet radiation from reaching Earth. Last year's theme celebrated the 30th anniversary of the Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer, supported by the slogan, "Ozone and Climate, Restored by a World United." The theme for 2017 is yet to be announced, but visit the UN's webpage to find out more. September 19, Phashom Ben, Ancestors Day in Cambodia. Phashom Ben is one of Cambodia's most important Buddhist festivals. It lasts 15 days, determined by the lunar calendar, with the formal name for the last day of the festival called Phashom Benda. Most Khmers call the entire festival by its colloquial name, Phashom Ben. In English, it's called Ancestors Day. Ancestors Day is an exclusively Cambodian religious festival based on their belief in karma and reincarnation. Although most people are believed to be reincarnated at death, those with bad karma can be trapped in the spirit world, unable to be reincarnated. At Phashom Ben time every year, these souls are released from the spirit world to find their living relatives and repent. Cambodians use this time to revisit pagodas, pray for the souls of their dead relatives, and in one of the most interesting twists, feed them. During Phashom Ben, Khmers cook food from the simple to the elaborate and bring it to pagodas. They believe that offering food to the souls of their relatives eases their suffering. These souls are seen as hungry ghosts with enormous appetites, but pinhole mouths, a true torment. It is believed that being greedy, envious, or jealous in one's life can lead to one becoming a hungry ghost after death. Most Khmers believe that preparing food for the Buddhist monks is an act that transfers merit to the hungry ghost, while many believe that the food itself is transferred from the monks to their ancestors. Some believe that during Phashom Ben, the food offerings are transferred directly to the dead, and you'll see people throwing sticky rice into fields for the ghosts during this time. Formally, the holiday runs from September 12th or the 13th to the 27th or 28th, depending on which calendar you believe, but businesses stay open until Monday, September 26th, which is a public holiday, as is Tuesday and Wednesday. Many Khmers choose to take the Thursday and Friday off as well so they can return to their family homes, but businesses that deal with tourists will remain open for this duration. It will be more difficult to find motos and tuk-tuks during this time. If you'd like to observe some of the Phashom Ben traditions, you can visit any of the pagodas in Phnom Penh or its surrounds. Cambodians are always very happy to share their traditions with interested, respectful visitors. Please remember to dress respectfully. Shoulders and legs should be covered. Do not wear shorts or singlets. Khmer men wear dress pants and a white shirt, and women wear long skirts and a white shirt. Shoes are removed when entering pagodas. Small donations of money at the pagoda are appreciated. Often donations are as little as 100 riel, so do not feel compelled to give large amounts.
those were the highlights for ASEAN calendar this week. With that, we take another short break. When we come back, up next, ASEAN interview. Stay tuned.
พักกันสักครู่ค่ะ
Back on the show, time for ASEAN interview, and once again this week we have an interesting interview to share with you.
กลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะในช่วงนี้ ASEAN Interview มีประเด็นน่าสนใจอีกเช่นเคยค่ะไปชมกันเลยค่ะ
In business this week, the Asian arm of PR agency Bell Pottinger reported Friday, September 8th, it's rebranded itself now as Clerico Communications and plans to separate from the scandal-hit British parent, which it expects will go into administration next week. Until recently, one of the world's biggest PR firms, Bell Pottinger, has put itself up for sale after losing clients for running a racially charged campaign in South Africa, which has led to it being shunned by its peers. As a result, the firm's second biggest shareholder, Chime, has written off its 25% stake, and its chief executive and biggest investor have quit. Co-founder Tim Bell, who resigned last year, said Wednesday the agency was now close to the end. Bell Pottinger in London said on Friday only that the firm was looking at all options. The heads of Bell Pottinger's Asian business, run as a legally separate entity, said that they now plan to relaunch as an independent firm called Clerico Communications with a new ownership structure.
I think the speed of the move is certainly something to cause some consternation, but clearly when you look at the legacy issue that is really or has been afflicting the company in relation to their activities in South Africa, it's unsurprising that clients have been moving away because there is a degree of toxicity in relation to the company name now, and I think that is almost sounding the death knell for the business. One suspects that there may well be something that will arise and there will be a little bit of a sort of a phoenix arising from the ashes from certain individuals, but clearly as a company as it stands, it seems heading inexorably towards administration in the next few days or weeks. Well, I think it's very difficult to suggest anything other than the decisions or some of the decisions that have been taken by the business have been certainly challenging, shall we say. But I think there is, you should always be wary about looking at things in hindsight. But clearly, the decisions that were taken in relation to South Africa have appear to be almost terminal for the company. In terms of those other decisions previously, well, I think companies often have some negative press, and of course. This company has not been immune to that, but I think the issues in relation to South Africa have clearly proved almost terminal.
Lloyds Banking Group, Britain's biggest mortgage lender, will be among its biggest creditors if the group fails to find a buyer. Bell Pottinger's clients are said to have included Syrian First Lady Asma al-Assad, the Pinochet Foundation, Oscar Pistorius, and Margaret Thatcher.
And that was the ASEAN interview for this week. Wraps up our show as well, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ